There are many shortcomings in spirituality. Today I'll talk to you about the worst one, the one that crumbles the whole structure altogether. And that is this: if everything in this universe or everything in this experience is one, if there is no separation, if all is part of the same being, then there's nothing to be done here. There's nothing to solve. There's nothing to understand. If all is as is, and if there's no separate human being, then what we call ignorance is nothing. It's a natural phenomenon. So, what's the purpose of spirituality? It's to help you understand what you are, but if you are what everything is, the creation, the creator, there's nothing to find out. And there is no need for convincing anyone about any of that stuff. If the source is one, if the source is one source, and we are all part of what this source springs into being, then there's nothing to find out in the spiritual search. And in fact, the only merit in what we do is not our common ground. Because it's common, there's nothing to do there. All there is to life that is of interest is what is uncommon. Yes, we are all born from the same source, but there are different experiences. And if you say that those different experiences are actually one experience, I'll say your disposition suffers from practicality. There's no practicality in thinking that every experience is one, because then what is there to teach anyone about? Why are you charging for something that is everyone? Literally, that is everyone. You're teaching one's actual being to whom? You might say that we don't, I don't know, we don't realize our true being. But what kind of a being is it if we don't realize it. Doesn't really make sense. And that's all before we get into the whole realizing our own being using reason or even emotion. This is before we even experiment with these ideas, and before we do our own research. So, why are we in spirituality if there is nobody there, or if everybody is the same entity? Question your own motivation for being in this path, in a path totally personal, because spirituality is one of the most personal things you can embark on. It's not being in a band, for example. It's not being in a team. You have satsang, but it's at the core of it, it's everybody for himself. What somebody understands. So, I implore you to question what you are really looking for in spirituality 2019 and beyond. What are you looking for in this domain? Look for why you're doing stuff. I mean, is it to be happy? Then, if it is to be happy, are you sure that resolution in this path will bring you happiness? And what makes you think that? Just question that stuff. If it's finding your true self, I'd implore you to ask yourself, first of all, why do you want to do that for? Why do you want to look for yourself? So many people don't look for themselves, and well, they may look for it in other places, but not in that path. So, why do you do that? It's a good question to ask. Why am I doing this? And the second question you can ask yourself is there a self after all? Is there a self that I can find? Of course, if you know that there isn't a self, you've found something. But is that what you are in for? Because in the spiritual path, in the hardcore, focused, non-dual exploration, you can find stuff. I mean, you can find that there is no self. There is no permanent entity. You can even say that there is no fundamental separation. But, so what? Why are you doing this? Be honest. Be honest to yourself. Why are you doing this? Is it to be happy? Is it to find yourself? What is it? Is it money? What is it? Relationship? What do you want? Are you in it for the abundant gifts that will come your way? First of all, find what you want. in this path, in this domain. Be more honest with yourself than I was with mine. Because if I was honest with me, it wasn't my real self I was looking for. I mean, I already knew, in a way. But there is no such thing as a permanent identity for a human. I kinda knew before, but that didn't stop me from having problems. So, first and foremost, be honest with yourself. Why am I into that stuff? Is spirituality even what I'm interested in? What do I think that spirituality will help me accomplish? And that's, by many ways, the most important question you can ask for yourself in this path. That's it for today. See ya.